Hi, Claire and James here. Just before we get stuck into this week's episode, we wanted to let you know the exciting news that the Midlife Reset audit is now live. This is a first of its kind personalised diagnostic tool designed for midlifers by midlifers.
In just 3 minutes, the audit will help you pinpoint what's really holding you back from living your healthiest, happiest midlife, and most importantly, provide tailored strategies on how to take back control. Midlife doesn't have to be a time of uncertainty. It can be an era of growth, discovery, and well-being. So to go ahead and take the audit, go to themidlifementors.com/audit.
One of the biggest mistakes we see is midlifers taking an isolated approach to overcoming a struggle or challenge they have. Maybe they don't feel good in their body, so they'll do a diet, get a PT, or hire a nutritionist. Maybe they'll try a gadget, app, or test kit. Or maybe they feel depressed, anxious, and demotivated, so they seek help, maybe with a doctor who prescribes pills straight away, or they see a therapist.
All of these are fine, but they're not tackling things in an integrated way, and that's essential because we're holistic beings. And the purpose of our approach is to bring the mind, body, and soul into alignment, to look at all aspects of the self rather than just one part. Only when we do this can we truly thrive and reach our fullest potential. In this episode, we dive into more detail about this and give you the lowdown on our ENRICH method.
Hi, I'm James Davis.
And I'm Claire Davis.
We're the Midlife Mentors, here to lift the lid on how to achieve health and happiness.
The balanced, no-nonsense way. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Midlife Mentors with me, Claire.
And me, James.
How does that feel?
You went first this time.
I know. How did that feel, James?
Well, it's because we're using a new technology platform, listeners, and Claire took advantage of my momentary confusion there.
You're getting old, so you're always confused. No, actually, that's 4.5 years of you always introducing yourself first. It actually is. If you go back, you won't find an episode where I introduce myself first. And if you do, because I do think I've lied there and there is one, then you get a prize. There will be.
Definitely more than one, but there's not very many.
We are using a new platform here, but we're also sitting here in summer clothes. It's nice and sunny outside, and I'm actually going to embarrass James now by saying he's sitting here shirtless.
I'm
it's
naked.
Not that warm.
I'm
no,
naked.
You're not
it's that
naked.
Warm.
That would be very
so British. We'll spend 4 months complaining about the terrible weather. And as soon as the sun comes out, you're like, oh no, it's getting a little bit too hot now.
I'm not complaining.
I know, I'm not complaining.
Absolutely not complaining. So, listeners, how are we all? We're so excited. We've launched the Midlife Reset audit. Loads of people are doing it. People are booking calls. We're speaking to you all. And yeah, we're just really, really proud of it. It's really helping lots of people with their, I suppose, really looking at where the gaps are and where some of the areas in their life, a very holistic approach, but looking at the areas of their life that might need some attention and giving them support with simple strategies. And, this leads on to what we're going to be talking to you about today. The Midlife Reset audit it's a very holistic look at our midlife. So everything that covers mind, body and soul. So kind of looking at our relationships with others, our ability to manage stress, our understanding of hormones, our body confidence. So really and our passion and purpose. So really covering lots of areas there and giving you a personalised report. So really chuffed with that. Really chuffed.
And what we've been up to? Well, quite a lot, actually. Last week, we were at the Burnout and Brain Health event.
I'm going to leave you talking about that. Seriously, I'm going to leave you talking about that while I go and get some water.
Oh, dear. It's the frog in the throat from the hot weather. The Burnout, which is amazing. Some great speakers there. Claire and I got to stand up on stage together and kind of tell our story and talk about how that relates to burnout at midlife. A really fantastic event. And actually really lit us up and realised we want to do more of these public speaking events. So for those of you that don't know, listeners, we have done events for people like Citigroup, KPMG, NBC Universal, Google, Morrison's. So if you know anyone that would benefit from having us along to give a talk, run a workshop, then just reach out, team@themidlifementors.com, because we definitely want to do more of these events. It was really great to stand up there with Claire and kind of tell our story and get great feedback from people afterwards.
It really is a mission of ours now, because actually we just want to get out there. We want to connect with people. That lights us up. and we know that we get a lovely response from it. So let's do more of it.
And then today we've just run a menopause workshop for another coach into his community, which was amazing.
Incredible. Loved doing that as well. And
at the weekend, we're off to Ibiza for a 6. We decided, we've been working very hard since we got over Christmas.
Since 2012.
Since 2012. So we're just going to take a short 6-night break in Ibiza. Not going to party, going just to chill out and relax.
Oh my goodness.
And we cannot wait. So by the time you're listening to this,
and eat lots of food,
we shall be there. Hopefully.
Yes. Oh, actually, no, this is going out this weekend, you Wally.
Oh, we'll be there by Monday.
You might be listening to it when we're there. Anyway, so as I just said about the midlife reset audit and it being an integrated approach, we just really wanted to jump on here and play it by ear, really, and talk to you about, we don't know how this is going to flow yet, but talk to you about why it's so important to take that integrated, holistic approach to your midlife, basically, and why it's such a passion of ours and so important for us with the midlife, with our entire approach. So the midlife reset, the midlife mastermind, everything we do, even our retreats, it's a very, very holistic, integrated approach to living your healthiest, happiest midlife.
Well, I think where this came from, Claire, was like when we were running retreats, seeing how wrong people had gone. Because obviously we sit down with everyone, give them a consult. And what we saw over and over again, no matter what was occurring in people's lives, what problems they felt they had, it was kind of like, oh, I've done a diet or I've started this new workout, as if that would be the panacea that would fix it. But of course, it doesn't. If you've got concerns about how you look or your weight, then to an extent, watching what you eat and working out is going to help. But it's not fixing what's going on internally. And for the bigger life questions we have around value, purpose, self-identity, beliefs, what goals do I want? Then we need to employ mindset as well, but also being mindful of our environment, so the accountability factor, and what's going on internally with our hormones and metabolism. So that was really where it was born, like weaving these elements together, because we're interconnected, integrated beings, and every part influences the other. So we need an approach that touches on all those parts, but yet is simple enough for people to fit in their day and follow.
I mean, we could have just been, we couldn't have been, because actually James and I aren't from, our background is psychology, NLP, stress management, coaching, business coaching. So anything that we did was always going to have a very strong foundational element of mindset. And actually, I suppose, soulfulness as well, because, we do practice, I would say, quite spiritual practices, soulful practices that really help ground us and, I suppose, live a grateful, joyful life. And so anything that we were going to put out there, we could have put fitness stuff out there, hormone stuff out there, nutrition stuff out there. We would have only have helped those people to a degree. That didn't sit right with us. That's not in our integrity. We knew and still know that behavior change is the only way, like long-term behavior change is the only way that you are going to get these things to stick. So, looking at your habits, like James said, looking at your habits, looking at your identity, see what stories that you're telling yourself that are holding you back. Because as James said, like we saw people coming to us on those retreats, and we still see people coming thinking, oh, I know what that problem is. I don't feel comfortable in my own skin. So I know what the problem is. I'm just going to go and fix that. So I might go to a PT, I might go to a nutritionist, a hormone person. I might actually consider reading a self-development book or going to a coach, and all of these different things. But what we're trying to do is fix those things in isolation. Most of the time they're contradictory. And we wanted something that pulled all of that together in one place, which is why sometimes people do come to us because they're not feeling comfortable in their own skin. But what they get at the end of their time with us isn't actually what they were necessarily expecting. So I think that's why we also wanted to do this podcast, is to really drum in that if you just want a weight loss product, you just want to lose weight, or you just, need some help with nutrition or hormones, like, we're not it. We're not that. We are that, but we are also so much more. You're going to walk away, when you work with us, you walk away actually having a deeper sense of self-respect. You have commitment, discipline. You love yourself a lot more, a hell of a lot more. And so that's the stuff that we really, that deep internal change. We want people to reach their potential and love themselves, basically. And I hope that doesn't sound too woo-woo, but that's the intention. And that's why we truly believe that no isolated approach is ever going to give you what you want, because you are a mind, body and soul being.
I think we offer a truly transformational approach in that we give you the tools to actually go on living this stuff for the long term, for life, to make lasting change and become the person that you've always wanted to be.
Yeah. And sorry, go on.
So I was going to say, what are the pillars? We came up actually with a six pillar approach, and we'll break it down for you. But an easy way to work out, we've come up with the synonym ENRICH, which basically stands for exercise, nutrition, resilience, which is about emotional resilience, but general resilience, indestructible mindset, where am I? Community/coaching, and H, hormones and metabolism. But those are the elements really that we need to understand, right? So let's break those down. The first one, exercise or movement. We do need to be moving our bodies. It's not that long ago that we were all a lot more physically active, and we've lost that. Most of us live sedentary lifestyles. That's not doing us any favors. As well as we know that there's particular things with aging. We won't drill into them now. I was
going to say.
We've covered that on so many podcasts. But, we're losing muscle mass. We're losing bone density. We want to train in certain ways to maintain that and stay fit and healthy. Because it's not just about, the length of your life. It's about the quality of it as well. So exercise is really important. It obviously has psychological and mental benefits as well.
Yeah, and hormonal impact as well. A positive hormonal impact. Nutrition is obviously really, really important. We need to be eating in a certain way. At midlife, we need to stop the diet. We need to stop the restrictions. We need to stop these fads and fake promises that just promise you the world and end up making you feel absolutely rubbish. It's all about balance and nourishing our body with the right nutrients at midlife. So that's really important as well. What's the next one?
Emotional resilience.
Yes.
So this is about
spirituality as well, really, isn't it?
It's about finding your values and purpose. And so many clients we work with, are kind of lost. They're like, okay, I've got this far, but now things have changed in my life. I don't really know who I am anymore without those things, or I just want to go on a different path, but I don't know what it is. So we help them work towards that through our programs and our coaching. So it's about finding, what lights me up, what is my passion, what is my purpose, what are my values, and aligning with those.
And then the next one is an indestructible mindset. And we're not saying it's going to be, indestructible, I suppose, gives a little bit of a wrong impression. We're always going to have those moments in life where we're knocked. But I think it's really, really important to have the tools and the strategies to, first of all, actually know what your mind is doing. Most of us are just only aware of our conscious mind, but we have this whole, I always liken it to the iceberg. The tip of the iceberg is our conscious mind, what we know of ourselves. And underneath it is, at the bottom of the iceberg, under the water, is this entire world that you are unconscious of. So it's about bringing that into the light, looking at what stories you're telling yourself, what limiting beliefs are holding you back, why you keep resisting change and this self-sabotage and the inner critic, and how you can actually start becoming aware of that, start using the tools that we give you to rebuild a different story that are in line with the goals that you want to achieve. Because that's the thing, our mindset, we can do all the things externally, but if we can't outperform our own self-identity, so it's about looking at that, becoming aware of that, and also looking at our triggers. We talk a lot about stress and resilience, talking about, what triggers our stress, and being able to be in control of our response to things rather than being bombarded by external things in life all the time. Doesn't that sound good? It
does sound amazing. Well, I guess so. Those four elements, I guess we say, were the active practice elements, and you need all four of those. And
yes,
that's where people go wrong. They'll be just like, I'm just going to go off a meditation course, but now I don't like my body, or I'm just doing the exercise, but I actually haven't worked on my mindset. So those are the four active elements you need, I think, for success in life, particularly at midlife. Then the remaining two is, hormones and metabolism is really just like an understanding of what's going on in your body, so you can have compassion around it. And obviously, with those four active things, you're also looking to optimize your hormone and metabolism health. And then the last bit, the community and coaching.
So important.
It's about having that container, that support, that accountability. That is what's so important.
Yeah, connection, because so many of us at midlife start feeling isolated. We're having all these hormonal changes that affect our physiology, our psychology. So we begin to feel isolated, confused, alone. We might feel actually that the best years of our life are behind us. We might feel that we're not of value anymore, almost that we've become a bit invisible. And that's where a connection and community really, really matter, because we want you to be in an environment where you thrive, where people inspire you, motivate you, and lift you up. That is a key element. Connection, community, and accountability. These are key elements that most people miss and wonder why they don't stay on track. Well, because you're not in a container where people actually really, really care about your success and can show you the way.
Yes.
So that's
it. So I say, like, here's a little checklist for you. If you're in midlife and you're not feeling satisfied at the moment, you're feeling a bit lost, you're not getting towards your goals, check off, are you moving your body regularly? Are you nourishing it properly? Are you working on your emotional resilience? Are you working on your mindset actively? Are you in some kind of community, or do you have a coach? And do you have an understanding of how your hormones are impacting these things? If the answer is no to any of those, then you should probably reach out to us.
Yeah.
And or alternatively, go do our midlife reset audit.
Yeah. And here's the thing. We don't want, these are simple tools. We know how busy you are, right? So these aren't like a whole long checklist of things to do. It's absolutely not. We just drip feed these things over the period of time that we work with you. So you're unconsciously learning these things. You're unconsciously committing yourself to these things and staying consistent. It's almost like people say to us, I don't even know how I've learned that, but I've learned it, which is beautiful, because then it means that the struggle's not there. And it's just a very simple way to integrate it into your life. So we hope that helps. But this is the real thing that we see all the time, is taking things in isolation and not really understanding that we are holistic beings. So let us know how you found that. Go and take our midlife reset audit. Obviously, you've heard about it at the beginning of this podcast. You're going to hear about it at the end. So we won't talk about it anymore. But we're really excited with the kind of like changes that are happening with these, with people that are doing this, and the people that we're speaking to. It's absolutely brilliant.
And if your organisation or an organisation would like us to come and give a talk, deliver a workshop, then reach out to us as well. team@themidlifementors.com.
Okay, sending you lots of love. Take care.
Yeah.
You've been listening to the Midlife Mentors with Claire and James Davis.
We'd love to hear from you. So drop us a line at info@themidlifementors.com with any questions or topic suggestions.
And make sure you join us on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. You can find us under the Midlife Mentors.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode. And don't forget to take the Midlife Reset Audit now to receive personalised insights into what's holding you back from living your healthiest, happiest midlife. So go ahead and take the audit now at themidlifementors.com/audit.